how can you make a success of your first leadership role? That's a question I've been asked a good few times. So let's get into it. Here's a message I got from a student. English isn't their first language, so I've edited it a little bit for clarity. First of all, hearty congratulations for putting up such an insightful course on leadership. I really like the course name, as everyday leadership is an hourly need and not just a conference discussion. I'll put a link to that course in the description, along with a discount code for my YouTube viewers. My student goes on to say, I'm at the cusp of a transition from my old company to a new company. And with the new company, my role is going to be more of a leadership role, and it is going to be the first time for me. So I'm excited and at the same time extremely anxious about handling this situation. So I wanted to understand from you, how do I handle this situation and make an amazing mark, not only on my team, but also to senior management at large? What a great question, and there are many parts to the answer. In this video, I'm going to give you some of the highlights of the things that occurred to me as I was drafting my response. First, managing upwards will be a big part of your response to this new situation, and therefore a big part of your success in your role. Just because you've got the label of leader now, it doesn't mean you won't have a boss. You will. And of course, it's your boss who is likely to make the formal assessment of your success as a leader, rather than the people who you are leading, who probably have the best idea. Pearson commissioned me to write a book about this, about managing upwards, for their low-cost ebook series, Business Express. The book is called Managing Upwards Successfully. Build a successful and effective working relationship with your boss. And I'll put a link to that as well in the description below. It's only short, and it's not expensive. From that book, I drew some really important tips. And the first secret is to get your relationship with your new boss off on the right foot from day one. And a large part of that is communicating well. And as we all know, an important part of communicating well is good listening. Listen to what your boss wants, ask them questions and listen to the answers, so you know how best to serve your boss. And that way, satisfy them that you're doing a good job. When you know what they expect of you and you're able to fulfill it, you'll be able to achieve the most important part of any relationship: trust. But to do this, you need to demonstrate your credibility and your reliability. And you need to focus on the needs of your organization and its clients and customers and wider community. And when thinking about how to prioritize what those needs are, an important part of that is understanding what your boss considers the priorities to be. Next, as the relationship grows, you need to get to know your boss as well as you can. Find out their style, find out their preferences, find out their priorities. What is it that makes them tick? What's important to them? The attitude of asking them questions and then listening to them will impress them far more than any claimed abilities that you have yet to demonstrate. And funnily enough, when people find themselves speaking a lot with other people and sensing that the other person is a good listener, they tend to start to trust that that good listener is a person that they can rely on. But of course, listening can't be everything. Once you figure out what their priorities are, you need to prioritize them and deliver on them. Demonstrate to your boss that you really heard what they wanted and that you're able to act on it. Next, you need to take responsibility whenever you can. Step up and always deliver on it. And deliver on time. But remember, your boss doesn't know that you are on schedule. So for longer activities, make it your business to keep them updated. even if all you're doing is reminding them of the deadline and how you are on track to meet it. Because if 2 weeks go by, your boss may not realize that you're working hard and you are on schedule. In their unconscious mind, they're just thinking, I haven't heard from them for a long time. Maybe they're struggling. And once you have delivered, ask for feedback. And then listen to what you get without challenging it. Make notes and then take action on that feedback to show your boss that you're constantly seeking to improve your performance. Ultimately, this all amounts to you making yourself their ally and showing them that you can help them to succeed. Next, you need to be proud of your own professionalism, but recognize that in a leadership role, your principal job is not to be good at what you do, but to be good at helping other people do what they do. Managing upwards is only one half of leadership. The other half is managing the people for whom you're responsible. Get to know each of your people well. Find out what they're good at, find out what they enjoy, find out what their aspirations are, and then work hard to give them opportunities to do what they enjoy doing, to learn what they want to learn, and to succeed where their career needs the next success. Next, with your team as a whole, prioritize communication. Not just you communicating with them, you listening to them, but building a culture where everyone in your team is perfectly willing to communicate with one another and smart enough to know who they need to communicate with and when to withhold communication because the other person just doesn't need to know and doesn't care to know. You will not always be there as the leader, so if you become the hub of all communication, then you also become the single point of failure. But if you can create a culture where everyone communicates with one another, then, should you need to be away, your team can carry on regardless, communicating well and getting their work done. In that way, as a leader, you have facilitated their success, rather than simply being the crutch upon which they lean. Next, do whatever you can to make their lives easy. Provide them with the knowledge, the information, the resources they need to do their job. Fight for better equipment, better software, more time, so that they can do a better job and they can see you fighting for them. But also protect them from the nonsense that organisations throw at us. If there is some small, tedious admin to do, you don't want your whole team distracted by doing it. So do it yourself. Relieve them of the problem and they will perform for you. And finally, you're managing up and you're managing your people. You also need to manage yourself. You cannot lead people unless you take care of yourself. There's a message that comes on the intercom on every flight. If the oxygen masks drop down, fix your oxygen mask first before helping other people. You cannot lead, you cannot support your boss if you are not in the best of physical, mental and emotional states. Therefore, take care of your mental health, take care of your emotional health and take care of your physical health. Prioritize exercise, rest and relaxation, good quality diet, and of course, the relationships that make us as individuals and as human beings strong. So, my advice for any new leader is to look upwards to their boss, to look around them to their team, and to look inside. You have to balance those three priorities and deliver on all of them. However, while this may all sound simple, it is far from easy to do all of this all the time. So make yourself a reminder so that at any time you can check whether you've got the balance right. And if you have, you will become a useful and effective leader in your organisation. Please do give this video a like if you've enjoyed it or if you've learned from it. I'll be making loads more great project management videos for you, so please do subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of them. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one.